The program presented or submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Good morning. I am Orlando Daniels with today's Entrepreneur. We're having a Motivated Monday, and I have some wonderful guests that are sharing with me on this morning from Elevation Management, Event Management, as a matter of fact. I want to give these two young ladies an opportunity to share and introduce themselves so I don't mess up one of their last name. We have gone through, but I have with me Adina Walker and Joanne Zizek, correct?
Got it.
So there we are. Let us start with you all introducing yourselves, your product, your brand, and actually everything that you do that someone may know how to get involved and get in contact with you for your services.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Orlando. Adina and I, like Orlando said, represent Elevation Event Management. So we are a corporate event management company covering everything from seminars, conferences, training, award dinners, incentive trips. A lot of companies will say, we don't do events because they're not thinking of those things that come up every year.
Wow. Okay.
Sales meetings, board meetings, that type of thing. So we work globally. We're not just in the Woodlands area. So no matter where your company's located or where you'd like to go, we can help. We can be there.
You know, ever since I met the two of you, you all have been on the go. We actually met at an event, Vail Event Institute, correct? And in this meeting, I got a rundown of you all's calendar from start to finish, trying to figure out how I can get you on the show. And you all had an extensive, like, non-stop Energizer Bunny. We just keep going and going. And I was just trying to, understand outside of myself, because I'm one of those ones that always going, I'm here, I'm there. How do you all find the balance in being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, helping other business shine, along with the day-to-day life, being, whether being a parent, being a spouse? How do you all find that balance in that?
Do you want to go first?
Sure. One is, it's difficult. It is hard, and not being in an office and being on the go, and that office can be at home or in our vehicle or in a hotel lobby, or in the lobby of your building. And so it's really pulling back, and Joanne's really good about telling me you can't work 7 days a week, because I'm that way. I'm constantly making those calls and sending those emails. And what happens is you have to realize you've got to step back, because not everyone, with the technology that we have nowadays, everybody's on 24/7. And so I just came off of a week of vacation with teenage boys and my husband, and being on the lake, and knowing when to check emails and when to respond and when not to. It is hard, especially as an entrepreneur, because I came from the corporate world, and it's expected of you, no matter what. Even if you're in a hotel room, on business, but it's 9-10 o'clock at night and email pings, it's kind of an expectation that you read it and you respond. And so it's retraining that thought process. But being an entrepreneur, I feel like we work harder than I ever have in the corporate world, because it's us. And as you said, we are Energizer Bunnies and we're on the go, but it's because we're trying to make that name make our brand aware, the awareness out there for everyone to know who we are, what we can do, how we can take care of them, and making sure all those details are that's most important to us, is attention to detail, because there's lots of planners and managers out there, and what makes us different is the attention to detail. And then that client, whether it's whether you met us at Bell or someone else, saying, when someone says, hey, Orlando, how did you pull off that event? And you say, you know what, I couldn't have done it without these ladies. And that's kind of how we're going about it. It's a lot of referral, a lot of word of mouth, and meeting people like yourself at events.
Yeah. That's going to always be my actual response. These ladies made it happen, because I'm not going to be the guy that can do it. I can promise you that. Here's something that I have labeled the two of you. You all never knew this, but I have called you all Laverne and Shirley, because of how you all actually interact with each other. Our interaction at the Vail event, you all covered each other. You finished each other's sentences. I said, look, they have been around each other for a minute. But here's something for you, Adina. You made mention working for corporate. How has the transition been going from corporate to now being employed, being self-employed, being an entrepreneur, owning your own, and then being in a position to employ someone else?
It's been scary. I'm not going to lie. It's been scary when you work for a really large corporate company, and you have that steady paycheck and that company car and those bonuses and all of those things that you take for granted. Really, you work really hard. You get to a certain level, and it can define you. And so this is starting over and really finding what makes me happy, and not being defined by that paycheck.
Wow.
So that's really been an eye-opening experience for me. And we work so well together. Like you said, Joanne and I have known each other a long time, and we talk each other off the ledge. So it's important to know that, and then just that not having someone say, hey, you need to meet this quota. I'm the one that's being so persistent on us. Hey, we need to get this contract. We need to do this. We need to do that. And that's where our backgrounds help each other.
Being in business, being friends, and separating the two is so key. And I hated to call the both of you on yesterday, on Sunday, day off.
Yeah.
But you all were willing to still put in the work. You were still, answering emails. I saw how you all covered one another. You immediately let me know, look, I'm sending this, but Joanne got the other. And so I love that about you all's business. But also I saw a few of the pics. I think we had them go up on the monitor. Tell me about this event here with these bikes, because I'm curious to know. There's a lot of people here.
So we love team building, but we really love charity team building. Adina and I started a nonprofit. That's how we first met back in 2007, years ago.
Okay.
That's at the heart of what we do, just giving back, no matter what setting that's in. So this is a charity bike build. So you bring a group of corporate employees together for a sales meeting, break them into groups, and it's, they're normally given some task to complete to learn to work together. To solve a problem. Well, why not have it be parts of a bike to put together? And you make it fun and you make it interactive, and then at the end of the day, they have picked a charity to decide what children that's going to go back to in their local community. We do lots of events like that, and we're big advocates of those types of events.
When we think about businesses, most go in from the financial aspect, which we all should, as it relates to financial stability and livelihood. But when we consider businesses that goes the extra mile to give back, being community activists, very involved, those are the things that sets businesses apart. Establishing those 501s, those nonprofits, and putting them in place not just for the overall benefit of the business, but putting them in place for the overall benefit of the customer, which says a lot about the two of you. Here's something. Do you all have any other events coming up that you would like to highlight? If you do not, here's something else that I want to throw at you. When we talk about high-end, low-end, okay, I know that you all don't do what most people consider when they hear events. They start thinking wedding planner, retirement events. Give them an actual example. Though you may mention you do trainings, expound on the training part in regards to some of the events that you host.
Lots of corporations bring their salespeople together for a big annual training. Franchises have to have their annual franchisee meetings.
Okay.
And some of those are smaller groups, but we really focus on these larger groups. That's what we're equipped to handle and where our background is. So that may be 100 people, it may be 500, it may be a citywide. And we know how to handle those groups going into where you need all of the hotels within a 5-city block. You need to know the convention center. You need to know the ins and outs, transportation, how to handle a large crowd. Not to say that we're not going to do 100 or 50, because we can.
Okay.
But our expertise lies in these bigger groups, and we can handle them without fail, without flaw. Higher end, yes. Sometimes that is a high-end board group.
Okay.
Because we know what those expectations are. It's not going to be the same as just a general company meeting sitting inside their conference boardroom.
I'm sitting here and my wheels are turning because I actually have someone in mind. It's an actual event that, do you all provide start to finish in relations to finding a particular place, a venue for them, the overall setup? You all, start to finish. So it's not, they don't have to do anything but just write the check.
So a lot of companies don't have someone on staff.
Okay.
Or they have what is an executive assistant, and then sometimes there is a planner. They have a planner who is employed there, and it's just they need our help. Maybe they're going to an area they've never been before, and we can set up those site visits, and then we do the research, and we do all of the behind the scenes. So we source that venue. We know exactly the meals that can be provided, if we can bring in a private chef, to the name tags, how they want the name tags to look, the registration table, down to every detail. So from the time you arrive at the city and get on a bus and get transferred from the airport to the location, checked into the hotel, you just think about every single step of the way, and we provide that, whether it's a welcome bag and saying, hello, Orlando, here's all your credentials for the week. If you need anything, my name is Adina, this is Joanne. How can we be of further assistance?
I want to piggyback a little off of that too, Orlando, because our tagline is think outside the boardroom. So as much as, it's that same standard meeting convention we're all used to, we like to get people to think outside of that. That meetings can happen outside of a boardroom, outside of a conference center.
Okay.
You may still be at a hotel. You may be staying at that hotel, but why can't we take a luncheon outside, or take a meeting outside, or off-site? Or maybe just the entire registration process is different. Getting people excited about where they're going and what they're learning. Sometimes it's interactive learning. All of those things that are just pushing people to think beyond what they've always done.
When I hear you say that, I've looked at and actually being here at KNLY at the station, I've come across quite a few businesses that have actually boxed their vision in. They've literally put their vision in a box, though they desire to do outside the box things.
Right.
And to hear you say that is being a trendsetter, where you are literally engaging with corporate America, saying to them, hey, you don't have to do it the traditional way. And I think that's what has happened, is that some of us become creatures of habit.
Exactly.
That this is, if we've seen it this way, this is what we expect. And no one has ever came to us and say, hey, let's do something different, still out the box, but still complements your overall business model. So I applaud you in relations to how you all work together, how you all are setting the standard for businesses. I think when we consider people who want, those events, and in them wanting those events to transpire, when they don't have the budget, let's go here, because that's the money part. When they don't have the budget, how do you still aid someone to accomplish what they're looking for? You have people they have champagne dreams, but they got beer money.
Right.
So how do you help people there?
So we teach them other ways.
Okay.
Maybe that's sponsorships. Maybe that's using our buying power, letting us research those locations, those hotels, negotiate the contracts,
Okay.
negotiate your concessions, so you're getting more for your ROI.
Okay.
Those are, or maybe it's shifting your dates a little to non-peak, or maybe picking a shoulder city, which is just going to be a smaller city outside of a big city.
Okay.
Those kinds of things. It's all about teaching, sharing our knowledge, sharing our experience.
That's important. A client trusting not only your expertise, but your overall experience. That's proven. So with that being said, let's do this. Let me get you to give them some information, the best contact, however they can get in contact with you, social media information, everything they're going to need, so that when they have their next event, they know who to come looking for.
So Elevation Event Management, we're on LinkedIn, we have an Instagram, Facebook, and our phone number is 832-603-4033. Or you can reach us at events@elevationeventmgmt.com. My email is adina@elevationeventmgmt.com, or Joanne, JOANN, @elevationeventmanagement.com. And if you go to Think Outside the Boardroom, it's going to direct you to us as well.
See, Did y'all see what I'm talking about? See how they cover each other? Laverne and Shirley of management, event planning. Listen, once again, I want to thank you for being a part of today's Entrepreneur. I'm Orlando Daniels with 91.1 The Boss. Today's guests, Adina and Joanne. I'm not doing last names ever again, but thank you so much for being a part and allowing me to be here with
you. We
you.
appreciate
Much
it.
success to your business. God bless you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.